Before we dive into this week's choice, I want to talk about something that actually kind of made my week this week. I'm talking about Tokyo Treat. Now, if you don't know anything about Tokyo Treat and you've never heard me talk about them before, honestly, they are a wonderful Japanese snack box that you get mailed straight to your front door. So that means no plane tickets, no traveling, no nothing, just relaxation and wonderful, delicious treats. And I'm not talking about treats that you can just go down to the store and buy. No, no, no. These are treats that are exclusive to Japan. I'm talking limited edition style treats. And on top of that, every single month has a theme to go along with those wonderful, delicious treats. This month's theme, Sakura Spring Snack Fest. That's right. They are all about cherry blossoms in Japan right now. And I am not disappointed with the snacks that came out this month. And honestly, you will not be either. I can promise you that. You have the wonderful, delicious Sakura Kit Kats, which everyone knows Kit Kats, they're amazing in and of themselves. But these ones are different. These are a light cherry blossom flavored Kit Kat, and they are not overwhelmingly sweet, which just makes them that much better, in my opinion. And it was also really hard not to eat the whole bag while I was going through the rest of the box. Another one that honestly really surprised me were the Sakura Shrimp Rice Crackers. These were amazing. They were so delicious. And honestly, if you're going to sit there and enjoy something that is maybe a little salty, a little savory, a little sweet, a little bit of mixture of everything, these are going to be the ones for you because honestly, they were just that good. I enjoyed them way more than I probably should have. So much so that I didn't realize I ate the whole bag as fast as I did. Another one that is honestly really, really good are the cherry blossom cookies. They're just amazing. They are delicious. And for me, honestly, a little bit nostalgic. I can't quite put my finger on it, but these cookies just blew me away, took me a part of my past that I just really miss. And these are just that amazing. And then, of course, you got the wonderful, delicious, delectable Sakura peanuts. They are amazing, they are good, and they are sweet and salty. So it's a wonderful combination of treats. I couldn't ask for more. Now, I have to make sure that I mention the booklet because honestly, the booklet, not only is it a wonderful little addition to the treats and the snacks that you get in there, tells you about Japan, everything that goes on there, what the theme is all about, everything like that. But honestly, it is imperative that you look at the booklet because there is allergen information in there, and that allergy information is very important. Whenever I get the box, we immediately open up the booklet, we start looking through the treats and everything like that, and we start figuring out what my wife can and can't have because she has some food allergies. And honestly, we don't want to sit there and take a chance. We don't want to stress about the treats that we are having. And this booklet makes it a stress-free time for us. Honestly, thank you, Tokyo Treats, for putting that in there. Now, special for our listeners, if you use coupon code featured anime, you get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, it is worth it. And I couldn't ask for better snacks than this. So once again, coupon code featured anime along with our affiliate link in the show notes. You get $5 off that very first box. And a big thanks to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring this episode. And now, on to the main show. Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Reign of the Seven Spellblades, which was a recommendation from Major Montana. Thank you for the recommendation.
Appreciate you.
Indeed. Before that, we were just talking about some random stuff and just kind of coasting to figure out whether or not what we were going to actually watch for next week. If you want to catch a part of that wider conversation, go to patreon.com/featured anime podcast, $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content. And now on to the meat and brotatoes. Reign of the Seven Spellblades has a studio of JC staff, a couple producers for our Katakawa, Warner Brothers, Clockworks, just to name a couple of them. It is based off of a light novel. The genres are action, fantasy, shonen, and magic. It aired from July 2023 all the way through October 2023, and it is 15 episodes long. Now, when Oliver Horn enrolls in Kimberly Magic Academy, which is a very prestigious but apparently very deadly magic school where only 4 out of 5 students survive to graduation, he arrives with more than just books and ambition. Shortly after arriving, though, he through a series of events, he actually ends up teaming up with a few other first years as Oliver begins navigating the school and how it's full of dangerous labyrinths and monsters and cutthroat upperclassmen who literally want to kill you. We find out that he isn't there just to study. He's carrying a very deeply personal secret and a vendetta that threatens to consume everything around him. As the group bonds, battles, and bleeds their way through Kimberly's brutal curriculum, literally, the truth behind the 7 legendary Spellblades and Oliver's true purpose begin to surface, pulling them all into a conflict far darker than anything on the syllabus.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Now,
beyond that, I don't have much.
I'll say this. This is not your standard school anime. In fact, I would say this isn't your standard magic anime either. This is like as if Hogwarts was like if Harry Potter was a college class and they were like, "Hey, bro, you do you, boo, and then we'll worry about you later."
Okay.
I mean, that's basically kind of what it is. And the reason why I say that is because at the very beginning, some of the characters I found pretty annoying. But anyways, what ends up happening is, you have this like disturbance for this parade or whatever that's going on there. And literally you have a bunch of first years that are just showing up to the school that know next to nothing. And they're like, we can handle this. And you're like, where are the teachers? Where are the other students? Where are the upperclassmen? Where are all these people that are supposedly like really powerful that could handle this type of situation? And which always bugged me is like, what the heck? That was my first initial thought process on it. Later on, you find out they're like, teachers are like, hey, man, if you end up dying from that, that's on you. That's 100% on you. It's like, that means, and upperclassmen, the same thing. It's like, hey, if you end up dying as a result of pick your flavor for whatever it is, guess what? That's on you. That's your fault. And teachers don't even step in until it's like, we'll give you guys like a week, a little bit more than a week. And then we'll start worrying about it and coming to take you, because the odds of survival after that point are like, drastically diminishing, which means you're expected to survive for at least a week on your own in any circumstance there.
Yeah, they're on the floor as far as your reliability on other teachers. I feel like they're trying to kill you for some reason.
I mean, like quite literally, it's I think their mentality is if you can't survive these little gimmicky whatever type of things, you're never going to make it as a magician, because being a magician obviously is very cutthroat, I guess. You also have to be cutthroat because apparently other students want to use you, kill you, dissect you, abuse you, pick your flavor as to whatever else you throughout the series and throughout the school. And if you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, you're SOL. Like quite literally.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. It's not just SOL. It's your fault for not knowing you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, it's literally everyone is out for themselves and embrace it for the majority of it. Embrace it for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easily one way to put it.
Yeah.
They're there for the vibes, and they don't even want to pay attention to you. Like, it's just the way that they go about doing stuff and everything like that just makes zero sense. They're trying to teach you, kind of. They're trying to warn you, kind of. They want you to be successful, almost. Not to mention the people who supposedly graduated. Like I didn't. Did you notice any graduates at all? Like ever in the series? Did they mention, oh, alumni did this or anything?
I mean, there was an alumni that got killed.
So they made it to graduation, and please enlighten me. Why did they die again?
Because they were murdered.
Weird.
Oh, also, what is his name? Antoine and Bastian. Bro has like major anger issues, and he apparently is not allowed to lose, or he gets beaten within an inch of his life. That guy.
He was a graduate?
No, his father was.
Fourth year.
His father was a graduate, and no, he was a first year. Even worse, right?
Yeah.
It's like
it gets worse. It's not that he's just not allowed to lose. Any record of loss is erased. The person, so basically, he had a childhood friend / servant /
No, it was just a friend, but there was someone of a lower standing, and they trained and worked hard and everything else, and as a result, they were finally at chess. They finally beat him at a game of chess. The boy, Albert, gosh, whatever his name is, he's super excited and happy that they beat him. He's like, I felt exhilarated. It was magnificent. It was wonderful. Only to find out that bro, as soon as they beat him, his father literally beat the kid for half a day with magic. And while he was being beaten, his father also had the entirety of the family just erased, gone, every trace of them. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So essentially, you didn't lose. You just had a minor setback to victory.
Which I might add, also, he's saying, hey, look, when this is all, and this doesn't happen until much later. I understand we're jumping around, but honestly, who cares? I mean,
it's okay.
It doesn't matter because, and I'll say this because it doesn't matter if you watch it, particularly in any order. There is kind of a semblance of a story pattern, but here's a hyper-focused section here. Here's a hyper-focused section here. Here's a hyper-focused section here, to where you literally could probably watch 2 episodes in a row. Oh, I missed 3 weeks running. Go back, watch one of those episodes, see the next week, go back, watch another 2 episodes, and then finally catch up and still have a semblance of an idea, a pretty good idea of what's going on. There's very few where you're like, I totally missed this points where you have to watch it in a specific order, in my personal opinion.
Not wrong. The way that they did things made so little sense that, you could watch nothing up until episode 6. Yeah, episode 5, and then episode 6. And then you'll be caught up. And not just caught up, but like caught up with everything, plus you'd see the first, well, what happened? What's going on? Why does the nothing make sense? Because, okay, so from episode 0 to episode 6, all that really happens is you find out that he's really good almost all the time, but he has every answer you could possibly hope for. He's smarter than the kid who reads all the time. His magic is more fine-tuned than the talented half-elf that you don't know is a half-elf for a minute. He's more versatile. He knows better commands. He recognizes things in such a manner that makes most experts weary of his expertise. And the only explanation is the talent isn't his. And it wasn't something he was gifted. It's something he took somehow, some way, in a vague manner. Right?
Yeah.
And we keep getting flashbacks to kind of an attractive, almost teenage person. And you see glimpses and you find out later that this person, this blonde person, is very, very important. But again, looks like a teenager and is talking to him in a very flirtatious manner, being like, oh, yeah, I'm naked, but you should look. It might be your only opportunity. Only to find out this is his mother.
What?
And then you're like, what? Huh? Like, real mom? Or like,
When did that happen?
almost. His flashback to when the samurai was cleaning off, and then he flashes back to the blonde in the lake, being like, no, it's okay. You can look.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm kind of sketched or iffy on the
The relationship.
the relationship.
She shouldn't have been old enough to have a kid and still enroll in high school and die.
College. I'm saying college.
That's college?
I'm saying college because they never specify it. And not only that, you have Nanao, who's a literal battle-hardened war veteran.
Okay, so you think college?
I'm thinking college entry. Yeah, because
But they only
7
went up to
years.
40. Oh, go ahead.
They go up.
Oh, they had seven?
They
7
7
years?
years. Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, like, I know that doesn't mean anything because in Hogwarts it's 7 years or whatever it is too. So, I mean,
I mean, yeah, there's that too. Hold on. What do you mind if I consult a pseudo expert real quick?
And then Japan has 3 years for their high school.
Okay. Hold on. Let me consult somebody who used to be in the industry.
College can be as long or as little as you want, so that doesn't matter.
Well, no, I'm just curious. Darling, how many years does it take typically to get through school? What grade of school or what measure of school will be approximately 7 years, similar to Hogwarts, but not that age range? Yeah, so she says that 7 years would probably be close to a doctorate, which I guess if you're going to be an expert in your field, then okay, I'll buy it. Sure. I thought there was a few people who were a bit too young for that to be a thing, but I guess, anime. Anime logic, I guess.
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
Okay.
I mean,
so yeah. Well, here's the thing. According to this guy, what basically happened was his mom went to this place and she was murked, just straight up killed for some unknown reason. And we find this out in episode 6 when he kills one of the 7 people who killed his mom, supposedly his mom. And his mom also had a sister, another child, and maybe another child, because he calls somebody sister, but he also calls somebody brother. So maybe 3 kids. But if that's the case, how come they're not going after on a revenge mission and he is?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, and that's why I'm kind of like shaky on the true realities or true ideas behind it, right?
And then out of nowhere, he gets this awesome shadow servant.
No,
he assumed.
No, they were always there. They were there since the very beginning. They just
Give me
very beginning episode like 2 or 1 or whatever. He's walking out there. No one's there. They has whatever the interaction with whatever her face is. And then he's there by himself alone. She's hiding behind the tree, talks to her. She's been there like the whole time.
Okay. I wasn't aware they were the same person.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in that case, real quick, did you, before episode 6 happened, were you aware of a secret society that he was supposed to inherit? Like, was there any inkling that could have been a thing?
I thought
to your knowledge.
So when he had like some super secret person there shadowing him, and it's like, I gotta go and take off because your brother summoned me. I thought maybe he was like some kind of secret noble or some like mafia lord or who knows what or something like that he was a part of, that he obviously has to hide his identity, or a lot of people can't know who he really is or something like that. I don't know. I knew there was something shady about him. I just didn't know exactly what. But being like the ruler of a secret society of whatever, and pick your flavor, No, didn't really cross my mind, but at the same time, I wasn't looking for it.
Understandable. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it either, and it just felt it felt out like it was out of left field. And then the fact that he went and became this underground monarch because he killed a teacher or something. It was a role he was supposedly stepping into regardless.
Right. So when he made the kill for the individual, that individual was one of the people that he is crediting to killing his mother.
Yes. One of the 7, which is what I thought the 7 sword spells came from.
Spellblades, 7 spellblades.
Spellblades. Yeah, I thought that's what the 7 spellblades came from. And nope. They all had. There was no real identifiers to say who was what. And apparently, prior to the samurai learning how to bend space and time, there were only 6 spellblades.
Yes.
And she became the
7th,
the hidden 7th or something like that. I'm like, hold on. Okay, so who are the spellblades? Because we know that he is a pseudo one. He's almost one. He can use the ability 2 times before it starts affecting his longevity, his lifespan.
Before he basically dies. If he uses it 3 times, he's dead.
Oh, I took it as not that he's dead, that he took years off his life, which just basically shortens his lifespan.
No, they said, how's your blood flow to him? And he's like, yeah, it's all right. It's cool. And they're like, all right, cool. He goes, how many more times can you use it? It's like, I could use it a maximum of 2 times. After 3, if I were to use it a 3rd time, I would be dead. And so his brother goes, you are forbidden from using it a 3rd time. Like, as if
you don't say.
It's like, cool. I totally planned on just.
Well, I mean, I guess I could see why he would say that, because life here really didn't matter all that much. So throwing your life away to achieve your goal might not seem like a really hefty price to pay.
Right.
So I mean, I guess with that knowledge, with that limiter, let's call it, maybe there was okay, brother, I'll listen to you. I'm not going to go off myself towards a goal I might not achieve because I died in the process.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that I'm kind of ambiguous on. I'm thinking like he can't use it 3 times in a row, but he can use it twice within a single battle.
Yeah,
that's
what I understood.
Right, not that, and the reason why I'm clarifying this, because the verbiage can be, especially if you're watching it subbed, can be misconstrued as or understood as, bro, you got 1 more time to use it and then that's it.
And he uses it more than 1 more time.
No, he doesn't.
Well, no, he doesn't.
He hasn't. He only uses it the 1 time, and then that's it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. I was thinking like you sleep and it resets kind of thing, or you can.
You gotta
heal the damage.
You know what? Here's how I took it.
It's got a cooldown.
It's got a cooldown.
Okay.
And the cooldown, part of the cooldown factor is after he uses it, he just brutally tortures the guy with like 127 different torture remedies or whatever it is that he personally was inflicted with or received, or I don't know, or whatever his mom received. Who knows? I don't know how that whole thing works. It was a pseudo thing. He absorbed half her chi. He's over there slapping him with the chi that he absorbed from his mom. And that's what we're going with. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
Transference of chi and magic.
Transference of liability.
No,
here's the thing that kind of got me. Everything seemed to go back to his mom, but that plot did not progress at all. We got flashbacks of her being awesome. Nothing about why she was killed. No reason to do that other than maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Like it was confusion is a good way to put it.
It's what I would honestly envision Hogwarts being in a sense of like, hey, this is a world where magic reigns supreme, and it's not the fun, hey, happy go lucky, whatever it is type thing that Magic and Magic and Muscles was,
Hmm.
which was amazing in its own
Mhm.
way. But this is more
Yeah.
along the lines of like, realistically, you're going to have a lot of people that, hey, if you have the literal magic power, might makes right. And because there's a lot of things in this world that just magic happens to inflict upon, people are just going to go hog wild. And that's kind of the idea behind it.
I can see that. I can see that. Um, but like, might makes right. Okay, fine. But the people in power aren't paying attention.
No, they are. But again, it goes to, we'll only step in if we absolutely need to. Otherwise, you're on your own. And that's one of the things. When the events that happen later on in the series happened, they go to the teachers, and the teachers specifically state, we don't get involved with affairs dealing with our students until 8 days. Like, if something happens and then 8 days progress, the survivability rate drastically drops, and that's when we'll intervene. That's when we'll step in.
I hate to say it. Nothing they did lasted 8 days, and shit was deadly in about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So,
but again, that goes to everyone saying like,
maybe
it's the method of reality for that school. The entire premise, the entire ideology is just that. They even say that at the very end. It's like, this whole thing that happened, yeah, it was a big thing. People talked about it for a couple of days, but honestly, after that, people forgot about it because it was considered normal here. It is not unusual for students to just go missing. It's not unusual for students to die, especially in other random certain circumstances, especially when they're trying to hone or perfect their craft, trying to advance the ideologies or the magic. Because when they die, when someone dies from magic, when they are consumed by the spell, is what they call it there, magic, or there is usually something there that happens that enables them to learn and progress with magic in and of itself for the others individuals. So it's expected, they're expected to die to help progress the craft, so to speak.
so jumping back about 2 to 3 minutes. So what you're telling me is, if they're fighting and it lasts more than 8 days, they're deemed good enough for both of them to be saved. They've got good enough potential, or they're just equal. No, that doesn't make any sense either.
No,
Because they could
not,
both be incredibly weak and just not able to finish the job.
no, it's under, so like the students having disappeared or having been taken, that's the 8-day rule. So they disappear, they're not there anymore. They go after them for 8 days. If it's internal strife, if there's issues or fights happening between the students, they're not going to step in between it unless it's in the middle of the class, because they don't want to have to deal with it in the middle of the class. But outside of class or anything like that, that's 100% on you. They basically had their own tournament even going on. It's like, hey, wherever it is, whenever it is, it's up to you. Let's do this.
It's on site. So one of the things I noticed, one of the things that was interesting to me, the teachers were almost cruel to the students.
Yes.
Like, I have no idea why the teachers have such admiration from the students, because even in one of the classes, they're like, here are the rules. Give me 5 silkworms. Don't take help from other people, or don't give help to other people. And whatever. And of course, our hero, our main character, is like, oh, do this. Hey, do that. Hey, do this. I'm saving everybody right, left, and center. And
no. That
dude
wasn't...
gets electrocuted. Oh, that was the potions class. My bad.
Yeah, that was the potions class. But I know what you're talking about. But no, not everyone viewed him or viewed the teachers as saints or whatever, viewed him as high praised worthy individuals. They all had their issues or problems with him, or they all viewed him as like, this isn't going to be someone that I want to do anything with. You know, they viewed the teachers for what they were, which were teachers, and you did what you were told to do, and that's it.
It makes no sense why anybody would send their kids here. because like unless you've got 35 of them.
Well, it's the it's the prestigious magic school. So you go to the school because you want to be amazing or magnificent at magic. That's the one thing they excel at. The death rate is high. Yes, 4 in 5 students survive. That means 1 out of 5 students die, but it's expected for their mentality to excel and progress when it comes to the magic craft.
I guess. And then it goes to a whole might makes right situation again. So,
yeah. Well, again, it's like you have someone who's literally whose clan or name is famous for never losing and never losing air quotes there for it. So it's kind of self-explanatory. You have,
I guess.
You know, it kind of is what it is. But all that aside, all the negative or weird anecdotes aside, it is honestly, it's a purely revenge driven magic story. The potential honestly is there. It makes it so that way, you know, magic isn't just viewed as a, oh, this is a fun or magical thing. It's like, no, we have swords and we have magic, and they put real, I would say kind of realistic expectations on using magic and swords, because they're like, oh, we have swords or we have magic. And when someone who was a ordinary person who doesn't have magic was able to defeat a mage because they got too close to the mage and the mage couldn't cast their spell fast enough, they're like, let's actually use weapons too at the same time. And so I like the idea of it, because you will not, and that's one of the things I always had an issue with Harry Potter. It's like, no one's always going to be far enough away for you to be able to cast spells. Like, bro's going to run up to you, knock wand out of your hand and slap you around. And then what are you going to do? Right?
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
So
you're not wrong. They were saying, well, no, that a little bit wrong, because in Harry Potter, they also had the ability to cast without a wand or even without speaking.
Right. But
rare, I'll give you.
Yeah. But again, it's like, bro, you're going to sit there and cast a spell as I'm mid slice with my sword. And if I can use magic too, you're SOL.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just saying it levels it up. I'm just saying it levels it up. It takes it to that next level to where it's the idea is we have to be in a survival situation. We are actively either trying to survive or prevent ourselves from being attacked or attacked. So I like that extra layer to where they're having to think more of than just magic when it comes to that.
Yeah, but magic is not a cure-all, regardless of what one of the teachers was saying. I loved it. One of the teachers was like, you don't need a sword. You just need their version of a wand, which was like a weird word.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you just need magic. That's all you need.
Yeah. Like you only need magic. You only need this. And then she summoned a crap ton of pretty vile looking familiars that would have been able to wreck everybody in there. So, I mean, technically a mage like that wouldn't be wrong in the sense that she doesn't need like swords or nothing like that. But the issue is you summon them, the cast time's too slow. Like, personally speaking, I'm really surprised that, well, I'm not surprised because, it's an anime, but could you imagine you can cast with a sword? All right, cool. What's stopping you from casting with a gun? A bow and arrow. Have your bow be your wand and your arrow tip has the spell attached to it or something like that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine just do rapid fire and now you've got 8 spells coming at you from 6 different directions?
Yeah, but they've also explored that in other shows too.
Of course they have, but I'm just saying, like, they did have a little bit of a limiter in this show. But the thing that annoyed me the most, it's 15 episodes.
Right.
What?
The limiter being, you said the show they have a limiter. What's the limiter? Well, elaborate for me, please.
They only use swords and wands. They don't use any other weaponry that I could see.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yes, that I do agree.
I didn't quite understand why you couldn't use ranged weapon, because, like, okay, the only similarity I could find out between a sword and a wand are their sticks.
Mhm. Kind of, yeah, but the sword, and I'll take the defense on this one, is sword close range, wand long range. So for them, it's a matter
Okay.
of proximity, right? If you're far away to where my sword isn't going to help me any, magic. That's your ranged weapon. That's your bow. That's your gun. That's whatever. Now, everyone's using swords and everything like that because most of the time they're in close proximity. Ranged weapons isn't going to help them out majority of the time. Um, but that doesn't mean that people aren't using ranged weapons. That just means we haven't seen anyone use ranged weapons.
Dude, could you imagine being a quick draw with a 6-shooter and having spells go off? Just, oh, I already killed him. And there's the lightning I summoned like 6 minutes ago. Okay.
Also, given that everything was done through magic, crystals, or candles and things like that, no electronics whatsoever, and you had a Edo era style world or whatever it is going on at the exact same time, I would assume.
Okay, so you think medieval?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. No, precursor to gunfire and black powder weapons. Okay. I'll give you that.
We're on the cusp of it, but and here's the other thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration with the lack of development when it comes to guns or weapons and things like that, is there's no need to develop guns or weapons like that for a majority of it, because why would I need to develop something that enables me to shoot further or do this when I could do that already with spell, when I could do it with magic?
My only argument against that would be range. Because if you wanted to get somebody who was, let's say, 3 football fields away, 900 yards, right? I would imagine, I don't know for certain, but I imagine that distance is required or rather distance would be a factor in how much magic you would have to gather and cast. So you'd have an extreme amount of magic production, whereas if you were to find a long rifle, you can send a piece of steel and take them out before they hit it, or you could cast a really, really big spell to reach that far too.
Again,
does that make sense?
Not really, because you're saying, oh, they're 300 yards or 900 yards away. And they said nothing about magic cost, expense ratio, and distance. I mean, quite literally, if people are that far away from you, you're not going to be in a situation where you're trying to worry about that, in the sense, because you're going to have one, if someone's going to be shooting at you for it, you already have a barrier set up to prevent any damage from happening. So the bullets or inanimate objects aren't going to help you.
I was just thinking of assassins and stuff like that. Well, and the reason why I was saying that
assassins wouldn't even probably venture that route, because they'd probably take an entirely different route. Most people, if you have an assassin coming after you, you probably have magic to be able to detect or foresee people within any distance or within a given distance for it.
For magic, I would agree with that. And the only reason I would even stipulate that was in the scene where the chick was on the boat with the Gorgonite, or I think it was Gorgonite. She basically powered up her magic to draw in other beasts. So magic detection over a wide range makes sense, which is why I was saying you would need a lot of magic to make it hit that far, or something that would be found out, whereas a long rifle wouldn't typically.
Right, but what would
going
be
off in the woods and
right?
What?
Yeah, I mean, like, you're making an argument for them wanting to develop it, but when there is no need for them to develop it. Again, if they have magic, who's to say they don't have a way to be able to do that already with magic as it is?
They might be able to, but again, my only argument against it would have been magic detection.
And again, we are living in a Shonen Edo era where bows and arrows are still very much a real thing. You just haven't seen anyone use it. So if someone has magic or the ability to do that, they're going to use a bow and arrow for that to help them. If they're using a bow and it's moving at it fast enough, it doesn't matter if you can detect the magic. If you're far enough away, by the time it reaches you, you're SOL. And this idea has already been explored several times through several other animes and manga at the exact same thing. It's like there is no reason for them to develop weapons when the magic is typically involved, because how does it serve to benefit them to develop technology that is meaningless to like literally everyone?
See, now we're going, if we're going to go down this path, everyone can't use magic. So long range weapons would work for people who can't use magic. So but again, that's on a whole other.
I mean, like at that point,
we'll get down a rabbit hole at that point.
Well, no, I'll say this. Let me say this one thing. If they develop weapons to fight the magic people, the weapons ain't gonna help them because the magic will trump him.
Normally, yes, but unless they can literally stop the kinetic energy of a steel ball barreling at you, which they couldn't even stop a bee coming at them. But you're right, they're students. So
we're looking at literally people that are just first years. They don't know. They're learning, literally haphazardly learning everything as they go through.
No, I agree. That's why I was like, well, I mean, they talked about only like students still.
Yeah, and they made the reference like, yeah, bro, you learn to walk on water. Cool. That's the first step to learning to walk on air. Like, all right.
They can fly.
No, not even fly. Just like straight up, I'm just going to walk on air, bro.
Oh, and you saw him ice skating on the water. Imagine somebody ice skating in air and just making a wind tunnel for themselves. And of course, the other guy, I don't know if he was a teacher or whatever he was, but he was basically always upside down.
He was a teacher
on a broom.
He was a teacher, and he was one of the students' father, the half elf. That's why.
Okay, silly question.
Brooms are also not inanimate objects. They are beasts. They are monsters, and you have to have to break them or have them accept you.
I was just pointing out he was always upside down, and I thought it was an interesting little tidbit. Quick question. I can't seem to recall. I'm hoping you do. Is her dad part of the crew that it has a mark on their back for death? No. Okay.
No, but I'm assuming that he's a part of it regardless, whether Oliver knows it or not.
Could you imagine? There's not 7 people he's got to kill. There's 8. Man. Again, the show is very convoluted in its messaging, in its delivery. From 0 to 5, you can kind of skip, watch 5 and 6 and still be confused. And then nothing again until 8, 9, 10. And then nothing again until 14, 15. Like that's for me. Everything else was a filler type of thing.
World building.
Like
I would say world building.
It would have made sense if they did anything with a lot of the stuff. If they would have been able to identify the 7 sword spells. If they were able to, other than, they've made the 7th.
Well, okay, so students asked about the 6 Spellblades. The teacher said, literally, no one knows who they are. We just know that they exist. No one knows how they're used or anything like that. And no one knows any information about them. You just know that basically the second someone casts the Spellblade, you're dead. It is a legitimate kill shot. The likelihood of you surviving it is low, and the only reason why you would survive it is because they wanted you to survive it.
Correct, yes. But the reason why I say that I was a little disappointed not to find out as a viewer is because it seemed to be that the main character knew about the other 6. At the very least, he knew of them. Not necessarily who they were, but he recognized the practice.
Well, yeah, so because of his mother, which is why he would recognize the practice.
Well, he knows one of them, so he's one of the 7. He's one of the 6, or now 7, spell swords. But what I was saying was that he would know what the other ones would do, right?
No.
Typically? Probably? No?
No. No, again, it's not.
How would he identify a new one?
Because of the the Spellblades is basically it defies any and all logic. It defies everything. It makes the impossible possible. You are able to cut through literal time and dimension and distance to make the reality, the outcome that you want, become a reality.
Yes, that I do agree with that. What I was saying, I was trying to clarify is, if he didn't know about the other 6, how could he identify a brand new 7th?
Because the other 6 have been around for a long time, much longer than this individual who literally just got introduced to magic.
So they're people, they're not spells.
Yeah, kind of. It's both. Because they said when Oliver used it, the guy even said, how are you able to use that? It's usually not, no one else can use it other than the individual.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I agree with that. But I guess where I was confused with it was, to identify a brand new one, he would either have to know about the other 6 or know about the other 6 alive. Because what happens since no one knows how to use it, and let's say one of them died, wouldn't she just replace one of the existing 6?
No one knows that the others are dead or alive. They just know that others exist. So it would just be another one added on to it. You're not replacing it, just like he's not technically replacing his mother. They just know that there are those that are in existence.
See, that's where you and I are going to disagree. I was assuming that he was replaced because his mom died. He took up the sword. Just like you were saying, he took her experience, her talent, whatever like that. I assumed he also took her sword, which is why his is imperfect.
It's not that his is imperfect. He's not meant to use it because it's not meant to be transferred. That's why the guy said it's not, how are you able to use it? It's not supposed to be transferable.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. So maybe you can help me with this then, because now I'm even more confused than I was before. If a spell sword is not able to transfer from one to the other, how are there only 6?
Because there's
meaning like if you good
because those are the only 6 that are in existence.
So they're known.
So yeah, and that's why he's not talking about her, because he's technically the only one that knows and recognizes it. The only reason why he recognizes it is because of his mother and the fact that he can use one himself. And the fact that he can use it in and of itself is unusual in the sense that it's typically not transferable.
No, I'm not refuting that at all.
No, you're asking the question and I keep answering the question. So I don't understand the question you're asking.
I think that's it. I don't think you understand the question I'm asking because I'm not saying it the right way.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if nobody knows what the 6 spell swords are, how can you identify somebody who's not using an existing spell sword? Like, how is he able to identify that as a new type of spell sword? Not, oh, she's using this person's spell sword, and he's able to identify it as a brand new by itself individual thing.
You know what?
Because maybe they're all instinctual.
You know what? I have an answer to this. I have an answer to this. How do they identify Spellblades?
Spellblades. I keep saying spell sword.
I know. I keep correcting you and you ignore me.
No, I keep forgetting the second I say it.
Over the course of 1,000 years, 6 Spellblades have been confirmed to exist and were passed down through generations of mage swordsmen. They're numbered sequentially, and some carry Latin-style names tied to their specific ability. For example, Oliver wields the 4th Spellblade called Angustavia, which lets him essentially reverse casualty by locking in a victorious outcome before executing the action needed to reach it. Now later masters a 7th Spellblade, which had never existed before, giving her the ability to strike across distance and time instantly.
So that that basically just told me the reason why he was so surprised that the main character was able to use the Spellblade
He's the main
is
character.
because, well, no, he's the direct descendant, but he didn't look like him because did I hear that correct? It's passed from generation to
No,
generation.
Oliver is the main character of this
Yes,
anime.
Oliver.
Yes.
So Oliver's mom had it, which means Oliver was eligible to have it.
Yes.
And the reason why the guy was confused about having Oliver having it is because he didn't know he was her son.
Probably.
So that would make sense why he's like, why do you have it? Because they don't look similar, but it's passed from parent to child. That makes perfect sense. So the Spellblades are known. They just didn't tell us what they were.
The catch is that most mages in the world flat out don't believe Spellblades even exist, since they are so rare and so few people have ever witnessed one. Even among dedicated swordsmen practitioners, solid knowledge of what the Spellblades actually are and who wields them is extremely limited. So identification is less of a formal registry and more of a passed down, almost secretive tradition among those deep enough into the sword arts to know they're real.
Okay. So they're like using Naruto, they're kind of like Kekai Genkai, where they're basically, if you're not part of the family, you have zero chance of learning it. Part of the blood family, probably. So, okay. So that actually clears up a lot. I thank you for looking that up for me. It's so frustrating that we, as the audience, he doesn't go to her and be like, so you've just unlocked the 7th one. Here are the others.
Yeah. There is no direct way for them to be able to pass it down. The most straightforward way is through inheritance, literal passing through the bloodline, or close personal connection. Oliver is the closest clear example. He received the fourth Spellblade directly from his mother, who was one of the most respected sword practitioners of her generation. She passed it to him. He trained with it, and it becomes his.
Okay. Yeah, that makes way more sense. But again, it's frustrating that we weren't told what the other 6 were, or the other 5 at this point.
Yes. But again, it's only season 1, and this is based off of a light novel. And like with anything else, you're not going to, when it comes to things like this, you're not going to know. You just have to kind of accept it for what it is.
Normally, I would agree with you. Normally, you are 100% right on that. It's just they spoon fed us everything else that seemed important.
No, they didn't.
They didn't?
They didn't. They didn't spoon feed us everything else that was important. They spoon fed us everything that was irrelevant and unimportant.
Fair enough. I was like, dude, everything was like on a silver platter. Here.
Yeah. Here's nonsense information. Thank you for giving me that wonderful piece of nonsense. Hey, here's the backstory for this random side character that you're going to barely see. Cool. Thank you for this. Here's the random information about this right here. Cool. Thank you for that. Here's the random information over here. Random information over here. Random information over there. Over here. Over there. Over here. Over there. And hey, all the important stuff. Yeah. Figure that out on your own, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So at least we're on the same page with that. Because yeah, that was just frustrating beyond what I was prepared for when I first watched this show.
But I expected it. I expected all the important information to not be a part of it.
Why?
Because I could tell even from episode 1, they were trying hard for hoping for a second season.
Oh yeah, like they give you a laundry list of things that he wants to accomplish that you're not going to be able to do in a short order.
Yeah.
At least not cleanly. So yeah, it makes sense they were trying for a 2nd, 3rd, 4th season.
Yeah.
But
ain't going to happen. I will also say this, the character reactions, interactions, and the mentality for a lot of them, ridiculous.
Big time. I thought it was just me, but
no.
They didn't.
I'm in the middle of a crowded area reading a book. Hey, could you please be quiet? I'm trying to read a book in the middle of the square while a parade is going on. Excuse me, 2 random people 30 feet away talking amongst each other. Be quiet. Like, bro, I would slap the book right out of his hand and slap him silly.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then, I was watching with my wife, and on the first step, she goes, "That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't. Nothing makes sense. Why? No one's looking at him. Why is he mean mugging everybody? Okay, why is he getting mad that people are offended that he's got a mean face? Oh, he's supposed to be friendly. Why is?
Yeah. Well,
I can't watch this. I can't. I'm like, oh, okay, my love.
Yeah.
No, I want to say it has potential, and it does.
It
And
does.
it did. It had immense, but it was 15 episodes. I expected more towards our main character's main achievement than step one, because looking at things realistically, they had an amazing amount of time as far as like empty space, filler, plot, world building. They could have cut that in half and kept things paced really, really well. And my main frustration is that in the downtime, there were times where nothing happened, and there were times where they just threw so much pertinent information that you're like, okay, I got to back up. So much happened. What'd they say here? What happened here? Okay, that's a one-liner that is basically anime changing. Why did they leave that? Oh, and it was a throwaway. It was super duper important and will be important 3 episodes from now, but we'll never talk about that again. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, like, we have that my biggest frustration with this, my biggest why, is we have zero, and I Bobkiss, nothing. Why was his mother targeted at all? You didn't even get a clear "we were jealous." I'd have been satisfied with that. We were scared of her potential. Okay, cool. I'm good with that. Nothing. And with so many teachers like in on it, you'd figure someone somewhere would be like, "Oh, you're her daughter," and then treat the sister like absolute garbage. But no, they overlook the brother, they overlook the sister, they overlook him. They act like it never happened, even though when confronted and alone, they're like, "Oh, you were that offspring. I didn't realize, but now that we're here, I'm going to divulge really, really pertinent information before I die. But don't worry, you can't kill me because I'm a teacher and you're not."
Yeah,
Huh?
it's yeah. Well, I mean, more power, more strength, more experience, more ruthless, more
Questions than answers. Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. I don't know. We can go on for a while on this, but I think this is a good spot for a rating, sir. So, on a scale of up to 10, how would you rate this?
Based off of everything that we've talked about, 3. Like, I wanted, because of who recommended it to us and because of the praise that followed the recommendation, I wanted to like it, but there was too many open endings, there was too many unanswered questions, there was too many flat out mistakes in my mind. So I'm sticking with a 3, unfortunately. Not for me.
Okay.
The animation wasn't that fantastic. The story has massive potential, but none of it was utilized. And you?
I'm going with a 4. Animation honestly was fine. I didn't have an issue with the animation at all. In all honesty, it was the kind of the setup, the flow, and the story that I had some of the biggest issues with. The fact that you just kind of everything felt like it was there was kind of a downer. The things that really saved it for me or built it up a little bit is the fact that one, the potential is there, but two, honestly, just being a part of the world, just envisioning being a part of that world is pretty awesome. Just being able to go, you know what, if Harry Potter was done this way, or if this was done this way, that would have been amazing. That would be a magnificent story, right? Having that extra layer of, hey, bro, we're not just about magic. We're about just brutal fighting here, just brutal everything. And the fact that I like that they made it so when you're there, you're not there to be coddled. They're not there to hold your hands. You're on your own. And if you don't listen and you mess up, it's on you, which I honestly have to agree with, especially when you're going in for a type of school where it's like, hey, you're likely going to die here if you're not careful. And if you choose to be reckless and you die, that's on you. So I'm glad they really kind of leaned hard into that. But that's about it. That's all the praise I can really honestly give it. I mean, like, was that right there? So yeah, that's why I'm going with the 4. They maintained their, hey, if you come here, you're on your own, bruh. You do you.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
Yep. So next week, we're going to be talking about Eminence in Shadow Season 2. All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. If you feel like we did too much justice and not enough justice or anything like that, feel free to contact us and let us know. All our contact information is in the show notes as well as on our website at featuredanimepodcast.com. You can also join us on Discord and talk to us and hang out with us in there. And then, of course, on stream as well, where we stream majority of our episodes on twitch.tv/featuredanimepodcast. And then, of course, we have some affiliate links for you as well for Crunchyroll. Get yourself a nice free trial or get a discount off their store. Links for you are in the show notes for that. And then let's not forget about Tokyo Treats. Nice, wonderful, delicious treats every single month coming straight to you. If you use our affiliate link along with coupon code Featured Anime, you get $5 off that very first box. And trust me, the treats are worth it. And of course, let's not forget one of the best ways you can support us is by going to patreon.com/featuredanimepodcast. If you go there, $1 a month gets you access to bonus content that we usually post with every episode. And of course, don't forget about some swanky swag, shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick, and we'll see you next time.